Also, I forgot to let y'all see my shirt of the day. It says, "Arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor," because it needs to be done. I got this shirt from a brand called Nominated, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure the name of the brand is Nominated. I follow them on IG, so if you want to check it out, please do. But yes, they need to arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. Hello everyone, it's your girl Jeff Beauty 87 here, and today we're going to get into my favorite matte and shimmer eyeshadow palettes. So they're like all matte palettes or all shimmer palettes. And believe it or not, I'm surprised I have as many as I do. I have like 6 of each, believe it or not. So I got 6 matte palettes and I got 6 shimmer palettes. So let's get started. Now I'm not doing these in any particular order other than as far as colors. So I'm going to go into like the more muted colors, and then I'm going to go into the more colorful palettes last, and then we're going to get into the shimmers, which is the part I'm most excited about because I love shimmers more than I love mattes. Anyway, let's get started. So I got 3 Viseart palettes. We start off with the first one. This is the neutral mattes. This is the second neutral matte they came out with, though, number 14, not the first one. Let's take it off so it won't look as scratchy. But this is what the color story looks like. And I know y'all probably shocked I got this because I got a whole bunch of neutrals, but y'all know, like, this bottom row is mainly why I got this palette. Plus, I just love the form of their shadow, so I knew if I did have to use some colors that were neutral, they would blend out easily. And this is a great palette, and I just love it. Now, my favorite Viseart palette, or one of my favorite Viseart palettes, I should say, and I feel like y'all should know which one this is. I actually have some of the colors from it on my eyes right now. It is the dark matte, and as you can see, it's in the original packaging because this is the first one I bought. I bought those other 2 when they were on sale on well, I bought that one when it was on sale on Beautylish. But yeah, the dark mattes, this was on sale at Sephora, and I quickly grabbed it because I absolutely love this palette. The color story is just, like, for the most part, right up my alley. As y'all know, from this part all the way across is my color story. Like, these little forward quads right here aren't really that big to me. I don't use them that often, but as you can see, there's good dents in this little section right here, along with a little bit of the greens. Believe it or not, I don't reach for greens in this one that much, but I do love this palette, and it's simply amazing. And I'm like, yes, honey, yes. So the next palette I have is, believe it or not, from Natasha Denona. This is the Safari palette, and what it looks like on the inside. Needless to say, I don't really touch this row at all, but overall, for the most part, I like the mattes in this palette. I had bought this because I wanted to be able to pair it with the Decadence palette by Pat McGrath. So sometimes I do buy all matte palettes so I can pair them with my all shimmer palettes, but this is like one of the all matte palettes I reach for the most, just because I really like the grunginess of the color story. I see she tried to do like the plumish like row right here, and then like the boring neutral row they always seem to want to put in the middle, and then like the cool tone row is at the top. So it's like definitely like the color story of this palette, and I've actually been reaching for it quite a bit. You all have seen it quite a few like eye looks when I have to pull like my singles or some shimmers together. But you know, it's a nice palette for what it is. It's just there's like 2 or 3 colors I won't use, but since I got mine for 50% off, and then I got mine for 50% off, it's okay with me. But if I had to pay regular price, I'd have been bitching about it more than I'm bitching about it now. So there's that. The next one we have is the Viseart Editorial Brights. This is the number 8. I got this one just because I wanted to see if their colorful shades would blend out easier than other colorful palettes that I do own. Not to mention there's a whole like row of blues. Who's not gonna love the whole row of blues? I can appreciate it, definitely. But this is a gorgeous palette. I absolutely love it. All these palettes are pretty much gonna be high end. I think I have one palette that's like considered reasonably priced, and it is still like $50. So yeah, and I feel like you should know which one that is as well. Anyway, let's move on to the last Viseart palette that we have, which is the Viseart Grand Pro Volume 3. Actually, one of my subscribers, she had tagged me in this, and I was like, ooh, yes. And then I saw the price, and I was like, ooh, no. Because believe it or not, I like expensive shadows. We all know that. But I don't know what it is. It's just like when it comes to Viseart, I don't know if you want to spend like a whole lot of money when it comes to the big ones like this. I guess it's because I know I still won't reach for them that much, and I don't reach for this one that much. I reach for it more than I thought I was, but like not nearly as much as, you know, like I do other palettes. But this one is more like focused on, like, I guess the rainbow, if you will, because we got the whole row of blue, whole row and a half of, it seems like, greens. Then you got the reds, the oranges, and the yellows. Like, I didn't have much luck with the yellows, so I was kind of disappointed with that because, you know, since they're a more expensive brand, I expected it to do better. But overall, I still like this palette because mainly it has the majority of the half I like, which is this. And then occasionally I use the reds. I don't really use the oranges at all because I'm not an orange girl. And like I said, the yellow, the bright yellow in there disappointed me. But like, you know, overall the quality of the palette is there. And if you have a lighter skin tone, I feel like the yellows will work better for you. It just didn't work that well for me. So the last matte palette I have is the Colored Rain Vivid Pressed Pigments and Shadows palette. I feel like y'all should have known this is what I was talking about when I said all matte palette. This palette has been well loved. Look at it, y'all. It's dirty, and my palettes don't usually look dirty, but you can clearly see the dirtiness of this palette. You can clearly see where I swatched this shade. Like, it's a whole bunch going on here. But I think I swatched this to compare it to the Juicy Boost, and that's how that got there, because I don't usually like leave giant swatch marks like that there. So that, I'm pretty sure that had to be what it was. But yeah, I love this color story, and the fact that they gave me a whole row of purples and blues. I wish there had been a little more greens, but you know, I guess they felt like since they gave you a lot of blues and purples, they need to give you some other things as well. But this is a gorgeous palette. I used to do a color series with this. I have 3 or 5 or 6 videos up of me just using this palette. It is lovely, and I absolutely love it. Now we're gonna get into some shimmers. So this first palette, I don't agree with the brand, but I already bought the palette, and it is a nice shimmer palette, so I'm gonna talk to you about it. But like, I don't buy from this brand anymore. I don't plan on buying from this brand anymore. I don't like the way they handled the whole situation with the Black Lives Matters movement, if you will, and how they were posting on social media, because they just went ghost, they went quiet, they didn't say anything, and then they came back on with this long bullshit ass excuse, and then they had it to where you couldn't comment back to what they said, and I thought that was just real super shady. And it showed me that you don't really give a damn about black people. You just give a damn about their money like everybody else's money. And I'm not with that. I'm never with that with any brand. So Linda Hallberg's Enchanted Mysteries, like, I mean, it's a nice palette, but I don't recommend you buy from her brand, because she don't give a damn about you, sis. So don't waste your point. Not to mention, I always hear Mel Thompson and Kelsey Breonna, Jane Allen talking about this, but it's like nobody ever talks about how cheap this packaging is. Like, it's cheap like cardboard that they stuck in here. They just charged me $50 for these shadows, but the packaging is terrible. But Let Motherhead came out with something like this. Everybody named Mom would have a million things to say. So I love how people pick and choose when they want to critique and when they don't. Aside from the fact, like I said, she came out with this BS long excuse about how, like, something about her mental health, or I forgot, it was some kind of bullshit ass excuse as to why she didn't comment on the Black Lives Matter movement. But as far as I'm concerned, it was just bullshit, because it's like, you could have posted like "We stand with you" or something like that, or Black Lives Matter on your page, and that been it, and did the bare minimum like some other brands did, but still looked like you cared. You didn't try it all, which says to me you're full of shit. So I don't recommend you buy this palette, even though the colors look nice. You can find the same shade in Mother's Quad that I'm about to show you next, so don't waste your time. You don't need a shimmery black for what? What do you need a shimmery black for? If you want a shimmery black, buy the Icon palette from Charlotte Tilbury. It has a shimmery black in it. Everybody got a goddamn gold, and everybody got one of these shades, so you don't need this palette. Don't waste your money. I'm just mentioning it because I do have it, and it is nice, but I wouldn't recommend you buy it for the aforementioned reasons. Next, like I said, we're going to talk about the Nocturnal Nirvana palette from Mother herself. I just ordered the other 3 quads, so they will be coming soon. I don't know when, but I'm excited to get my hands on it. And look how gorgeous it is. Now, this is the exact same shade as that other shade I just showed you all. Matter of fact, let's swatch it, and then you see what I'm talking about. Not to mention, Mother got a gold in hers too, so it's like, if those are the shades you're most concerned with, you know, don't even worry about it, sis. See, the first one is Linda Hallberg, and the second one is Mother. They look exactly the same. Don't waste your money on this. Don't do it at all. Then I'm going to swatch this bronzy shade that I just had in her palette. And I'm going to swatch Mother's gold against it. Hers is a little more bronze, but you know, like, a gold is a gold is a gold as far as I'm concerned. So that one is a Linda Hallberg, and that one's Pepper Grass. See, you already matched like half of her damn palette with Mother's palette. So just give your money to Mother, because as you can see, the packaging is most sturdy too. Like, and it's got a nice little mirror in it. So yeah, no, don't waste your time. Don't do it. But this is a gorgeous palette. I absolutely love this one. Of course, y'all know that one's my favorite because it's the one with the blues and the greens and the purples. I don't know what's up with Mother and gold. She always add the gold is up. I guess like she really likes gold. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely recommend you try that one. Now, Ritualistic Rose, I do like. I don't like it nearly as much as Nocturnal Nirvana though, because I feel like it's just a whole, with this one, I feel like a lot more of like glitter particles that fall out of this palette, like with this shade. And I think with like this shade, if I remember correctly, it's like lots of gold shimmers pop out of it. So I don't know if I'd necessarily recommend it as much, or maybe you should just do your eyes first. I like to do my eyes first, but because I make videos a lot of time, I don't get a chance to. But I do like the color story of that one overall. I think that's how she started trying to introduce us to the roses, I guess, or whatever, since she got a whole like huge line of roses now. The funny thing is I gotta pack up just about all these palettes again and take them to my grandmother's house, because I want to do more videos with them, and then the video for Pat McGrath is coming up, so I'm gonna have to take those over there. And I'm taking the little bitty ritualistic rose, or the last little rose palette she made, so then that way we have something to come to use with the little quads or whatever, because you know all those are special shades, so they don't have what do you call them, they don't have mattes in them. That's what I meant to say. So that's why you can't get those. And of course I had to show the Decadence palette. Y'all don't know how hard I went to get this. The funny thing is this came out on my birthday one year, and I meant to grab it, and then I ended up not doing it. I forgot why, and then like got discontinued. Then she brought it back out, and then people randomly got it, and then she discontinued, and she brought it out with the Star Wars thing, which I wanted to get it for that reason, because you know I wanted the Decadence palette, but I don't really care about Star Wars. So then she finally brought it out again after the Star Wars situation, and I got it in the gold packaging. So I guess I should be glad I waited, because I really wanted the gold packaging after I started with Star Wars, and I ended up getting it, but I ended up getting in the regular component, which was the one I wanted, because I just love the jeweled crown detailing on it. But this is the inside of it. It is gorgeous. It retails for $125, so it is not cheap at all, but I would definitely say the quality is there and it's worth it. Matter of fact, let me swatch one of my favorite shades in here. It's called Lapis Luxury, and it's simply stunning. And I'm gonna swatch the silver too, just so you can see. Lapis Luxury, and then swatch the silver. I'm not gonna swatch the gold, because y'all know the mother got gold in every goddamn thing, so I don't feel the need to swatch that, so we're not gonna do that. But the palette I'm gonna talk about next has some of the similar shades in it, but I don't feel like they're as pigmented on the eye as Mother's is, but I mean they're still just as nice. But this palette is just absolutely stunning, gorgeous, absolutely amazing, and I am so happy to have it in my collection. So now I know this palette just came out like super recently, like I want to say maybe like a week ago. It might be like 2 weeks now. And of course I feel like you all should know it's the Makeup by Mario Master Metallics. And if you all remember, I don't think that video's up yet. It'll be up by the time this is up though. But I swatched some of the shades in here, comparing them to the Decadence palette, like I told you all I would. So let me go ahead and swatch those shades. It was this one. I don't think he has a silver one, so I don't know why I ended up swatching that one, but see what I'm saying? Like his aren't as pigmented as Mother's is, as you can see, but it's like a similar tone to that color. I absolutely love. And I'm gonna just swatch this goldish champagne looking shade next to the silver one, since I swatched it. But see what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like his are as opaque. I feel like some of them are satiny. I mean the silvery looks more sheer, but maybe she did it on purpose so you could sheer it out and do an inner corner or whatever the case may be. But this is a gorgeous palette, but I feel like it has some of the similar tones that Mother's palette has in it. But I am going to keep both, because sometimes you might want a more subtle shimmer as opposed to a high pigmented one. I mean, I could probably just use a different brush, but I was like, I wanted to try it out for myself, and I actually really like the formula of it. So there's that. I know it's shocking that that one's in here so quickly, but you know, I really liked it, so I felt the need to put it in here. So there it is. So we are on the last shimmer palette that I will be using, and I mean not using, Jesus, I'm showing you, and it is the Koi palette by Viseart. Now I wanted this for a while, but I remembered when I bought their little palettes, I didn't like their shimmer formula, so I was like, I wonder if it's gonna be the same as the ones in little Pro Petite palettes or whatever, and it is not. This formula is a million times better. I absolutely love these colors. I love to pair this with the Viseart Grande Pro 3, the one I just showed you. I love pairing this with it because these are just gorgeous pastel shimmers that I feel like look beautiful on the eye. They're just a sight to be seen. So I absolutely love that palette. So those are all my shimmer and matte palettes that I love. That's actually pretty much my whole collection. I have one more of these was the Linda Hallberg things, but I left it in my grandmother's house, and like I said, we're not dealing with her anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.